It was another great night in H-Town. I am Will Scott. Welcome in to Houston Texans Today by Chat Sports. We're reacting to the Texans picks here on day two. They won the first night of the NFL draft and certainly had a great day today as well. You know, some team needs coming in were offensive line, specifically center, and wide receiver. They addressed both of those needs tonight, starting with Juice Scruggs in the second round, the 62nd overall selection here for the Texans, the center out of Penn State, going here to the Houston Texans. Tom Downey's number 6 ranked center, and I mentioned Scruggs yesterday is a guy to potentially watch out for here. I thought that if he did get picked, he might be late round 3, maybe early round 4, but it's pretty clear that he was the Texans guy. Now, Luke Whippler was on the board here. C.J. Stroud, center from Ohio State, so that's worth mentioning. So they took Scruggs over some guys that were probably higher on other people's boards, but I do like the Juice Scruggs pick. And what's very appealing about him is that he's versatile. He can play guard. He can play center. He could be the new Texans starting center. I don't know about day one, but he should challenge Quessenberry for that job and do so pretty quickly. Here's what Dane Brugler said about him. Scruggs needs to overcome his average recovery skills, especially in the run game, but he has the necessary build, strength, and football IQ to be a swing interior backup capable of fighting for starting reps. And I agree. I think this guy is going to compete for starting reps on this football team right away. He's got all the tools to be a really good center for C.J. Stroud for years to come. An exciting pick here for the Texans, and he's got the best name of anybody in the draft, Juice Scruggs. I mean, it just sounds like an offensive lineman. Grade the pick of Scruggs. Type A, B, C, D, or F down in the comment section. Go down and let me know what you think about the pick of Juice Scruggs. I'm going to give it a B+. I like this pick a lot. He was one of my favorite centers in this draft. Now, I had Whippler ahead of him, so that's why it's a B+, maybe not an A-. It would have been exciting to reunite Whippler with his college quarterback, C.J. Stroud, in Houston. And I think a lot of people say, oh, they could have taken Scruggs a little bit later on, maybe in the third or the fourth. Look, the bottom line is this front office knows a lot more than we do about where these players are projected to go. You know, Mel Kiper and Todd McShay, very good at what they do, but maybe the Texans were hearing something behind the scenes that Scruggs was going to go a little bit earlier than expected, and they did trade up to get Scruggs, so that is worth noting, getting him at number 62 overall. They also got Tank Dell, who, if you watched our show this morning, I had him in my final Texans mock draft, so I was really excited when this name came across the screen. The Houston Cougar is staying in the 7-1-3. The Travis Scott lyric is "Next City, No Sleep." Back to the 7-1-3. Tank Dell saying, I'm staying in the 7-1-3. He's making the short commute over from the U of H campus over to NRG Stadium. Tom Downey's 11th ranked receiver. Tank Dell is one of my favorite prospects in this entire class. So the value was really good in the third round, and some people say, oh, they took him over Josh Downs and Jalen Hyatt, but I think Tank Dell is going to be awesome for this Texans offense. He is electric with really good production at 17 touchdowns this past season at U of H, nearly 400 receiving yards. He is going to be a great target for C.J. Stroud. And it was really important for the Texans to take a wide receiver tonight. I think a lot of people were expecting them to take a wide receiver last night. Instead of taking one at 12, they trade up for Will Anderson, which was obviously the right call, and they waited to take a wide receiver in round 3 in a very deep receiver class, obviously. Dane Brugler says this: Dell's diminutive size and below-average strength won't be a fit for everyone, but he has quick hands and elite start-stop acceleration to create chunk plays short, intermediate, and deep. He projects as a dynamic number 3 or number 4 wide receiver for an NFL offense while also handling punt return duty. So we could see, probably will see, Dell on special teams as well. Taking a look at this past season for the Cougs, 109 receptions, nearly 1,400 receiving yards, 17 touchdowns. It was first team all AAC, 12.8 yards per catch for Dana Holgerson at the University of Houston. You saw Tank Dell's IG after the fact, too. He's pumped, man. He is pumped to be staying in Houston. I love it, man. when the Texans take these homegrown guys, keeping them in the 7-1-3. So I'm really excited about this pick, and I think we all want them. And it's great when, the Texans are doing some things right, and they've certainly done a lot right in this draft thus far. I think it's been, and I'm going to reiterate what I said last night, this has been a franchise-changing draft for the Houston Texans, and they have a lot more picks tomorrow. Grade the pick of Tank Dell. Type A, B, C, D, or F. Go down and let me know. What do you think of the Nathaniel Dell pick? I am going to give it an A. I'm a big fan of this pick for the Texans. He was my guy. And I think that Nick Caserio, D'Amico Ryans, and this organization felt the same way. I think they really wanted Dell. I think when they made the move up to get Anderson, giving up the opportunity to maybe take a receiver in the first round, number 12, think Tank Dell. I think they were thinking about him. And they made sure they made sure that they got him. Be sure to subscribe to our channel for the best Houston Texans draft coverage. We're getting you analysis on every single Texans draft pick, and we're going to be right back at it tomorrow. Producer Coop and I are not going to get much sleep. We're going to need some coffee tomorrow, but that's how we roll here at Chat Sports. We get you guys nonstop content, so be sure to subscribe, youtube.com/Texans TV. My overall draft grade for the Texans is an A- tonight. Overall, last 2 nights, probably an A+. But today I'm going to give it an A-. Love what the Texans and Nick Caserio have done thus far in this draft. Stay tuned for another draft grades video tomorrow. It's going to do an overall grade of the Texans draft. I think Houston has been a clear winner of this NFL draft so far. And again, they have a lot of picks tomorrow, so let's take a look at the best available. Keely Ringo's still out there. I mean, that's wild. DeJuan Jones is still available. There's some really good players here. Tyler Scott is still out there if they want to go receiver again. Antonio Johnson, the safety from Texas A&M. Darius Rush, A.T. Perry. So there is going to be some talent tomorrow. This is a deep class top to bottom. Corian Bennett's still there. Corey Trice. You got Trey Tomlinson, J.L. Skinner, Ivan Pace Jr., Rashawn Johnson. I do think the Texans could go running back tomorrow. Deuce Vaughn is another name to watch there. And, again, I took Tank Dell in my final mock. I also took Deuce Vaughn in my final mock draft here for the Texans. So we'll see what they opt to do tomorrow. Again, we'll get you guys more coverage of rounds 4 through 7. Appreciate all you watching. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to the channel. Being told by my bosses, since we're a new channel, we need a lot more subs to be able to get you guys more content. So be sure to hit the subscribe button below.